Aperture's intentional airdrop campaign is criminally underfarmed. I want to tell you all about it. So this is a very short airdrop campaign, like 1.5 months, and it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be 4.2% of their entire FDV. So this might be quite large for even the moderate or like aggressive farmer. You can look at the leaderboard at like the average points somewhere around like 200,000. So if you know, somewhere in the middle here. And so if we wanted to like just assume what kind of value that might be, of course, I've built a little tool here. I think that the FDV at launch will be somewhere around 200 million. I know that's kind of aggressive, but maybe it's not, because what that means is if there's only 10% circulating at TGE, that the market cap is really only 20 million, right? Because the market cap is the circulating supply. So if 10% is circulating, 10% of 200 million is 20 million. I think that's a reasonable market cap for Aperture, which is the greatest UniV3 management tool out there, bar none, in my personal opinion. I love Revert, but Revert is better for me for monitoring my position, not for managing my position. Aperture, I'm going to show you Aperture's tools. It's absolutely nuts. It's also how you farm these points. So I'll also sort of show you how it works. If you had 200,000 points, and right now there are 100 million points out there, this is confirmed by Aperture, that could be an airdrop of $16,000. Now, not financial advice. That's just my own math, right? 100 million points. Assumed FDV, so the assumed market cap, which means effectively the airdrop value is going to be 4.2%, which is 8.4 million. So 8.4 million divided by total points. That means each point is worth roughly almost 10 cents. That gets you a value of $16,000 for 200,000 points. That's insanely good for 1.5 months of farming points. And so like the airdrop is assumed to be late April, early May. Still plenty of weeks, and you can really heavily farm these points if you know how. So I'm going to show you guys how to farm those points, and also why Aperture is so cool in the same process. So what gets you points? Well, if you look here, oh, by the way, if you think, oh no, people might be sibling this, all these wallets are probably the same person, they're not. So what Aperture has done is every single wallet connected to the same X account, the same Twitter account, goes to is the same person. So you can see here, like number one, this is one Twitter account. This is a different Twitter account. You don't see any Twitter accounts repeated, but you can connect multiple wallets to one Twitter account. So if you wanted to sybil this from like 50 different wallets and only use one Twitter account, that's fine. But all of those points collectively would show up under the single person's Twitter account, which is great. Like, so this person right here may have referred 19 of themselves to get the maximum boost, and all of those are contributing to this one X username on their scoreboard. So like, that's amazing, because what it means is each of these is an individual, maybe with multiple wallets or multiple referrals, but it's not like, it's not 10 of these are the same person, which is just fantastic. And I know many of these people in the top 20 are from the DeFi Dojo Discord, so shout out to us. We're killing this airdrop campaign so far, but I want to also invite other people to participate in this because I think it's a great opportunity. I also want people to know about Aperture just because it is, again, in my opinion, the greatest UniV3, also concentrated liquidity management tool that is out there. And I genuinely mean that. It's really, really great. And I've been talking about it for, gosh, about as long as they've been out, even before they launched, I've been talking about it. So how do you get points? Well, first thing, you can connect your X account. You have to do that. Pretty simple. You get maybe a couple thousand points there. I don't know how many. But then, like conducting a swap, you also get more points, I believe, if you swap on Aperture Swap on Manta. Rebalance, if you rebalance your position, which maybe you do like once a week. If you have a UniV3 position, open a liquidity provider position, that's really simple. So if you go here, let's go to liquidity positions, new position. It's super easy to open one. So let's say I want to do like, let's go to ETH mainnet, switch. I love Rabby. And then go to like ETHFi. One of the greatest things about Aperture is they allow you to zap in. This is such a good feature, and it's something that I wish that UniV3 had forever, but they just haven't had it. So, okay, ETHFi, I'm gonna zap in with ETHFi ETH, let's say. You can see I love this too. You can see different percentages of those selecting it. So right now, most of the liquidity is in 1%, which is great because you get phenomenal fees, but 27% is trying to vamp that with the 0.3. So I'm gonna go 0.3. I'll participate in the vamping, boo me. I wanna zap in with ETHFi. Let's say I want to be, plus or minus 5%, be really aggressive. And let's do the maximum amount of my ETHFi. It'll tell me my order routing. It's probably going to go through UniV3 liquidity. No, through 1 inch. Okay, so it's going to be going through 1 inch. By the way, this is like a DEX aggregator intent on the back end as well, which is really cool. So cool. Approve, open position, boom, I'm done. I'm not going to open this because I'm actually holding that ETHFi to participate in EtherFi points campaigns. So I'm going to keep that ETHFi and not open this position. I already have some liquidity positions open on Arbitrum specifically for this. Oh, let's go ETH and Arbitrum. Let us switch my network. Switch network. Cool. All right, cool. So you can see like these are very, very small amounts of liquidity for a reason, because I'm using these just to do what we're going to find out is called recurring rebalances. So you can also set up auto compound. All of my positions have auto compound. That's really easy to set up. I'll show you. So let's switch back over to, well, Ethereum for a second. I'll show you my personal position in KEP WETH, and you can just click auto compound over here. It says on. I tend to like if the APR is over 200%, let's just say, I will compound every time it hits 1%. So it hits 1%, I'll compound it. Now 1% of this position is going to be pretty substantial, like 1.5K. So if I'm paying $85 in gas, I'm fine with that. Click confirm. Now every time I hit that 1% of my principal being in fees, then it will automatically compound. I will get some points. I will be happy, and we're in business. Now I am not aggressively farming points on this particular wallet. This isn't like my main wallet, and I'm not going to show you all of my other wallets. So there we go. Now, where are the real points being made, right? It's not in opening positions. It's not in connecting swaps. It's not even in connecting rebalances. The real money is being made in recurring rebalances. This is where the points are being farmed aggressively and substantially. So how do you create a recurring rebalance? Let's go back over to Arbitrum, switch network, liquidity positions. I'm going to show you how. So I thought I had two. Liquidity positions. No? What's going on here? All right, well, that's fine. Even if it only shows one, pretty sure I have two positions open. Yeah, I do. Okay. So they're very, very small on purpose because basically I'm just saying I am willing to spend, $3, $5, $10 to run these things into the ground by having them rebalance as frequently as humanly possible, to give me to just like generate and farm points. So you can open up like 50 small positions or a bunch of wallets with different positions and just like have them do really rapid rebalances. Let me show you how to do that. So let's do ARB-DAI. Let's do recurring rebalance. That's what you want. It'll open up this really nice user interface. You can see that my position has 13% ARB, 87% DAI. So what I want to do is say, I'll go to ratio, make it really easy for myself. When ARB is above, right now it's 13%. So when it's above 14%, or when it's below 12%, then trigger. And so what I want is ratio. I want to go back to 13%. Let's do 13%. Super simple, right? So basically it is 1387 now. When it goes out of 14 or 12, 12 to the lower, 14 to the upper, rebalance back to where it was. And so because this is so aggressive, it'll be just happening over and over and over again. Now there is a bit of some alpha here that you guys might want to know. Yeah, that's fine. Gas ceiling exceeded. Oh no, because I'm using Arbitrum and I have such a tiny position. That's fine. Let it gas ceiling exceeded. Okay, well, can I do 10%? It won't let me, will it? Gas fee lower than threshold. Oh, can I do 0.7? Okay, so I need a larger position, unfortunately. So I can't do this, but this is what you would do. So I think you probably need like a $5 position here. I wonder if I can set one up. Do I have any other tokens? Frax share, is that going to give me more than? Let's do Frax share ETH. 1%? No, this is going to be less than $1. I only have, how much do I have here? Okay, I have like $184 here. So let me zap in, right? Let me zap in using ETH. This is Arbitrum, so I don't really care. And I will use 0.002, which is $6. You know what? Let's do a $20 position, right? Again, I don't really care. I'll make it pretty tight because I want it to be tight. Now, maybe you don't want to use 1% because every time you're swapping, you'd be getting killed. But I know like 1% has a lot of fees. Has this been made yet? Has the 0.3 been made here? Let's see. No, I don't think it's been made yet. Okay. So we'll do this. Order routing. Boom. I'll open this up and then I'll show you how to do the recurring rebalance. Pretty simple. Just has to think for a little bit, which is totally fine. So again, by the way, why is Aperture intentional campaign called intentional campaign? Because Aperture is going to be an intense protocol, not like intense, but INTENT. What is an intent? Well, an intent is effectively a signal of user desire. So user wants something to happen. They show that intent to the protocol or to some ecosystem or to some like mechanism, and then that mechanism finds the most efficient routing for that to happen. Now, Aperture and many other protocols will be working with like major exchanges, proprietary liquidity providers, DEX aggregators to effectively make sure that the most efficient route for that intent is taken to maximize the user's intent and outcome of that intent. And so there are many intent protocols coming out, but like imagine effectively being able to say to a protocol, I want my ETH to go into the most efficient ETH lending position on either Aave, Compound, what's another good lending protocol right now? Aave, Compound, or Gearbox, right? You can lend on Gearbox, like any of these, and only pay less than 0.05% of my position in gas to transition, and only do this once every 3 days, right? You could give that kind of verbal intent to a tool like Aperture in the future, and it will create that strategy for you and then operate that strategy. So like that's what intents are. They are, in my opinion, are like the future of DeFi strategy. Aperture is sort of leading the way here. I think intents will catch a narrative, which is one of the other reasons why I'm sort of bullish on this, bullish on the potential FDV here being even higher in the future, and on Aperture in general. I love Aperture as a tool. Like I said, it is really my favorite UniV3 tool to use, but the intense potential future of what intents could be, to me, is incredibly exciting and like could actually be the future of France. Now, whether or not it will ever deliver is hard to say, right? Because it's DeFi. So many things are hard to build, and if they can be built, it's typically like that'll never happen, and then it happens, and you're like, oh my god, this is now like the new way DeFi is done. Sort of like with UniV3 when concentrated liquidity came out, and now like Aperture building all the tooling that I always wanted to exist. Well, what could be next? So anyways, here we go. Open position. Confirm open position. I hope it'll let me rebalance at 1% fee tier. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because 1% is going to be like such a chunky fee tier. Okay, so now I'm going to go to liquidity positions. I'm going to go to my WETH Frax position. I'm going to go to recurring rebalance, and I'm going to put everything in ratio, because that's how I think in terms of ratios. It is currently 50-41. So I'm going to say if it goes above 60, or if it goes below 40, then I want it to go back to 59, which is WETH. And there we go. And so I want to save my trigger. And I'll say this is totally fine. Create strategy. And boom, bing, bang, boom. I now have a recurring rebalance that will trigger every time that criteria is met, which is going to be very frequently, because this is like tight position. It should go out of range a lot. You can also make it tighter if you want to go out of range more frequently. Now, here's the alpha that not many people know. There is a cap on, or like a minimum amount of TVL or liquidity required to have rapid rebalances happen. They've effectively time gated people from like super farming this. So you have to have a position. Any position will get automatically rebalanced, and any position will get points for the rebalances, but the rebalances will only occur once every 45 minutes if they are less than $150. So if the position is lower than $150, your automatic rebalance will only trigger once every 45 minutes to prevent people from making like 10,000 positions and having them just, trigger every 10 seconds. So I think this is, kind of like their best attempt at Sybil prevention, and I totally get it. So if you want, like if you are a larger investor, you want to put like 160 $70 in there or $200 in there, and just like be willing to burn the first 50 of it on like rapid rebalancing to get a bunch of points, you can do that. And maybe you want to do it with like a stable pair, like USDC, USDT, put it in the very, very tightest ratio possible, and then and also have 0.01 fee tier, so the fees aren't very expensive, and have that just rebalance bang, bang, bang over and over and over and over again. So you can have that done. And that's probably the best way to farm these points rapidly and really quickly. Okay, so I've showed you the potential speculation on here. I think this is insane. Like if the average person gets $16,000, that would be nuts, clearly. Hopefully it happens, because that would just be a wild airdrop. And again, I am pretty bullish on this FDV. We'll see what happens though. Aperture should be airdropping late April, early May. That's what they said. I don't think they're going to miss that mark. Of course, market conditions are going to come into play here. If like everything is super bearish, probably you don't launch a token. If things get really bullish before the end of April, could see a late April airdrop. If that happens early May, probably early May, but I don't think it's going to happen after May. That would be way past their assumed deadline. So good luck farming this. You probably do need a referral link. Well, everyone needs a referral link to join this. So I'm going to post the DeFi Dojo's referral link, not my personal referral link. So the DeFi Dojo is not like, it's not all going to me, not all my money. So if I get points, it's not me getting the points, it's the DeFi Dojo getting the points. So I'll post that. If you need it, you can use it. Good luck farming this. If you have any questions about our Aperture, feel free to let me know. I am actually technically an ambassador, full disclosure, but that is because I reached out to them saying, I love this protocol. I want to work with you guys, which is all true. I've been talking about it way before I was an ambassador. And I think my ambassadorship is actually technically over now, and I'm still talking about it because I love it. So use Aperture, check it out, play with it. It's awesome. You could even, if you wanted to, you can use like the intense GPT thing and ask it questions about it. Like what is the airdrop campaign? I don't know if it's going to tell me. Maybe it'll tell me. Who knows? But you can ask it all sorts of things. It has like a GPT. This will eventually be able to, it won't tell me. This will eventually be able to tell us things about like intents, and you can signal intent and this and the other thing. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you get a juicy, fat Aperture airdrop in the future. Have a wonderful rest of your day.